Oh, typical. No, I've just literally. The game looked like it wasn't going to go in, but I've yeah, I've just got to go back. Right, I'm in the lobby at least, though. That's the relief. To be honest, I only know the drivers until I just read them on the leaderboard. Yeah, this could be quite unpredictable. Hello, one and all. PFL is right underway. You join us around the Red Bull Ring for what should be an intriguing night of racing. Tier 1, the best of the bunch we have, tackling this track in Austria, one of the most famous tracks on the Formula One calendar at the moment, and hopefully one that will be staying long into the future. Wherever you are watching tonight, we hope you look forward to what should be a season of sensation and supremacy for whoever comes out on top. We have an abundance of talent, and well, we are soon going to find out who can get their season off to a promising start. I am joined here by Connor. Am I allowed to refer you as Connor? Or, yeah, refer to as Connor. We've got problems. Yeah. Ben here, I am joined by Connor, and we have such an interesting night here tonight. What are your thoughts going into this, Connor? Yeah. 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 No, we're not going to be impartial or anything, but, you know, we have our favourites from time to time. Right, let's have a look at the drivers out on track. Let's start with Gatekeeper in the McLaren. Oh, we have yellow flags out in Sector 2 and Sector 3. Okay. So we have just over 13 minutes left of Q1. The session is running akin to what we expect of Formula One, the 3-tier qualifying session. It does seem like we will have everyone going through into Q2, as we have the top 15 through to Q2, and we have 15 drivers here, unless there is something going on that I am not aware of. But yeah, in Q1, the quickest time so far is from this man, Joe's My Bueno. Okay, fair enough. He sits on a 1.5.1. We have yellow flags out in Sector 2. And Ninja coming back sheepishly onto the tarmac there, losing the rear. And that is going to derail his confidence. Has he lost part of his front wing? Yes, he has. He's ventured into the wall and he misses the pit entry quite considerably on the way in. But that is not the way Ninja wants to get his season underway. Why Shaman slots his Aston Martin into fourth. Oman 44 in the Mercedes through Sector 1 is about 600ths down on his best time. We have yellow flags out in Sector 3. Gatekeeper is rather pedestrianly wandering into the pits in his McLaren, but doesn't seem like any damage has been done. So, oh, that is a lap from Hydrant that sees him go to the top of the timesheets by 18 thousandths of a second. The Williams puts himself top. think that's Matsuvo just trying to let drivers behind on a quick lap going through, but he is on an out lap. And let's just stare at his latest efforts around, well, what will be his first effort, in fact, around the Red Bull Ring in the AlphaTauri. Building up the speed towards the Turn 1 apex. Would you say, Connor, that Turn 1's quite deceiving? Track limits is certainly tested through the apex of Turn 1. Indeed you can, but Matsuvo's run a promising first sector. He dashes down one of the DRS straights and chucks the front end then into Turn 4. Very clean lap so far from the AlphaTauri, managing to keep it within the white lines. And we'll see by the end of the lap where he plants his AlphaTauri. It is indeed a purple Sector 2. The AlphaTauri is really making a statement early on in Q1. Towards the Jochen curve, again manages to keep it within track limits. Does suffer a little bit of understeer to the final corner, but again he keeps it on track, and it's second. Only just indeed. This league is already living up to the bill. The top three separated by just 18 thousandths of a second. We have drama. We have tight. Indeed he has, but he's invalidated his lap time, so that has just thwarted his efforts. What was going to be a promising lap from the Alfa Romeo, has been thrown away seemingly by the tiniest of margins, but he is going to go for another lap. Let's ride on board with him through Turn 1. Did seem quite reserved into Turn 1, but of course this is Q1. You don't want to be taking any... Ninja running just behind Nathan through Sector 1. It's a 16.7 from the Mercedes. That is not the way you would want to start your lap if you are the Mercedes. Let's turn our attention back to Nathan. And going now through turns 5 and into Turn 6. Hogging the curb on entry, getting out onto the exit of the curb, and he's quickest of anyone through Sector 2. This Turn 1 is really catching out the drivers, but Nathan is nearing the completion of his lap. Oh, but he throws it away once again in the dying stages of the lap. The Alfa Romeo has yet to register a lap, and it's very, very worrying. He has the pace, he's shown the pace so far in this qualifying session, but track limits are going to haunt you. But Ninja spinning through the exit of Turn 1, lighting up the rear tyres, and that is going to give him a major scare. The gatekeeper is half a tenth up on his best time so far, but he's slowed down. He has indeed. The Red Bull Ring is punishing our drivers. It really is, and it's making for fascinating viewing so far. UFRL Ninja is slowing down, I imagine, to let cars through, but he's out on his own through that section of the track. Anyone else on a lap? Ex-Nathan, his lap's already been invalidated. Theo has invalidated his lap now. Let's ride aboard with Scoffy in the Haas, wandering towards Turn 4. Taken normally, about third gear, possibly fourth gear at over 100 kilometers an hour. Now into Turn 5 and Turn 6. Manages to keep it within track limits, and he's a quarter of a second up through the first two sectors. Again, the Red Bull Ring is really targeting some victims. It is indeed, and it's what you want to see of a track. Scoffy is fifth, he improves by 3.5 tenths, and he is competitive with the top 5 separated by just less than 2 tenths of a second, the top 4 separated by less than 4 hundredths of a second, and the top 3 separated by 18 thousandths of a second. We have a very competitive nature to this league, which we are just one qualifying session in, we're already realising. He's invalidated his lap time. That's, well, he's thrown it away, the Mercedes there. You can hear Connor saying that it was going to be a promising lap time for him, but it's come to no avail. Connor, just how important is it to get right into the groove in Q1? Of course, this doesn't set the final lap times, especially amongst the top 10, but is it crucial to get into the right groove and to find the balance so early on in qualifying? Yeah, exactly. We've learnt from Gatekeeper and other drivers so far that when you are punished by the track, it may derail you. And, well, like we said, the Red Bull Ring does bite. So the drivers are going to have to overcome it. But Gatekeeper now coming out onto track. He currently runs in P8 in the McLaren. Homan's on a lap, but it's been invalidated. Scoffy may be coming into the pits. So then, Gatekeeper, I was going to say you have the track to yourself, but Atomic Drax has just come out of the pits. But, well, Gatekeeper, let's ride on board with him and see how he goes on his latest tour of the Red Bull Ring. Pole position in 2021 around the Red Bull Ring came from Max Verstappen in both the Austrian and Styrian Grand Prix. It was a 1.3.8 in the Styrian Grand Prix. It was a 1.3.7 in the Austrian Grand Prix. It is only Q1. We are only a second away from Max Verstappen's times around the Red Bull Ring, but we are getting close. Obviously, the drivers will be pushing to the absolute limits the closer we get to the end of qualifying. So we are going to be seeing speed in a superb and scintillating way about the Red Bull Ring, but we're going to just have to be a little bit patient. Indeed. Right, Atomic Drax out on the track into turn 1. We've seen UFR on Ninja spin through the exit of here. Atomic Drax avoids that, let's say, hazard. But he builds up the speed towards turn 3. It's not an improvement through the first sector, but it is still poised to be a competitive lap time. He loses the rear. Just getting a bit trigger happy on the throttle there. The rear was rather pejorative in Atomic Drax's stance on how to take the exit off of turn 3. Theo has retired from the session. He's through. He's 13th, so no worries there. We have yellow flags through sector 3. I'm turning into Jonathan Ross here, and that's obviously because of Theo. Actually, is he crashed? Because the yellow flags are out on track. He may have crashed the Aston Martin. I go to Atomic Drax. We may be able to... Oh, no. Okay, we won't be able to see how the Aston Martin has exited this session. UFR Ninja has his lap invalidated. Gatekeeper, though, is improving through the first sector. He opens DRS, builds up the speed towards turn 4, a corner where we saw Alex Albon and Lewis Hamilton coming to blows in 2020, that being the first race of the 2020 season. If anything from that race, the drama, the tension falls on, translates over into this race, then we are in for a cracking race. Gatekeeper has invalidated his lap time. Track limits are not being kind to our drivers today. But Weischermann is improving through the first sector. Taking turn 3 very cleanly there and opening DRS. Sorry, repeat that again, Connor? Oh, okay. They can't hear you, okay. Let me... Right, just... bear with me for... Sorry, all. I'm going to have to just sort something out. But meanwhile, we have yellow flags out in Sector 2 and 3. And that's because Ninja's gone for another venture off the road through the exit there of turn 7 and on towards turn 8. Ninja is really falling victim to the nature of the Red Bull Ring. The checker flag is out and all drivers are going to be completing their lap times. And that will spend the end of qualifying 1. If I just quickly sort this out. So then, we have learned a lot in Q1. We have a very competitive field. We have drivers experimenting with the limits and falling victim to the limits. Right, let's... That might be why. Right, hopefully we have this problem sorted. Can they hear you? Let's hope they do. Hopefully, indeed. To anyone listening to us right now, could you let me know in the Discord, please, if you can hear Connor, please? Ooh, so obviously some difficulty here for the drivers, but we can see the drivers venturing out on track, and we have a disparity, it seems, amongst the drivers of which tyres to go for. The mediums opted by some of the drivers to go longer in that first stint in the race because, of course, the flipping hell. Shows you what I know about technology. Right. That's happened. Thinking frustrating. Right. I'm going to keep the screen open, but I'm going to just try and sort this out. So I'll leave all of you to see what goes on here in Q2. You can ride on board with Gatekeeper and see how he fares on the medium compound tyres. Sorry, Connor, could you just say something quite quickly, please? And I'll just see if it works. Okay. Right, apologies, Connor. I'm going to try and work it out, but this is going to be quite taxing here. I'll try and... I can't seem to work it. It may be some... I'm going to try and look it up what the problem is, but I'm going to kind of have to multitask here. So apologies, mate. Right, sorry all. This is not the ideal start, for us at least. We'd hope to have both me and Connor commentating, but we will try and solve the problem. Meanwhile, we have yellow flags out in Sector 1. You did see earlier, I believe it was Joe's My Bueno, went for a venture off track, which, well, it's what we've seen from many drivers through the exit of turn 7 and on towards turn 8. So again, the track is still punishing the drivers, which is good to see. Yellow flags out in Sector 2, and that's because Arborwood has found the grass. We'd seen UFR Ninja go off track through there earlier. But yet we have yet more problems for the drivers, even through the braking zone of turn 2, as UFRL Ninja has retired from the session now. And that's despite setting a lap time, so maybe he's simply happy with where he is at the moment. We will have to see. But Homan in the Mercedes, I believe, or surely, will be starting another lap. He will need to improve if he wants to advance into Q3. Opens DRS quite late, actually, but will rage towards the turn 2 kink and turn 3. Turn 3, which will probably be the best opportunity for overtaking during the course of the race. And Homan nailing that exit off of turn 3 then, and down another one of these DRS straights. The medium compound tyres, of course, doesn't give that initial ultimate grip and pace, but Homan doesn't seem to be struggling so much with the grip, and he's definitely not struggling that much because he has gone quickest of all through Sector 2. This is going to be a massive statement from the Mercedes. He goes through turn 9 and now turn 10 to complete his latest tour of the Red Bull Ring, but it's going to come to nothing because he's exceeded track limits. And he has just curtailed what was going to be a mighty effort on the medium compound tyres. And the Red Bull Ring bites again. Gatekeeper is poised to complete his first representative lap time of Q2. And if he's going to do it, he's going to do it with the quickest second sector of the lot so far. We have problems for Homan through the middle sector. Oh no, he's just letting a car through. But back to Gatekeeper then, through the final, always pulling off into the pits. Does he not have enough fuel on board? Did he make a mistake? Either way, it has not been the session that Gatekeeper would have wanted. Joe's My Bueno now will get a lap going in the Ferrari. And through the first sector, it's a 16.1, but it does seem to go a little bit wide there through turn 3. Opens DRS now. Again, apologies everyone, we're just trying to overcome a few technical difficulties. But Joe's My Bueno in the Ferrari has leapt up into 4th place. And he's improving still, is the Ferrari, through the first sector on his latest lap. Joe's My Bueno is finding pace lap after lap, corner after corner. He sits 4th. Where is he going to sit after this lap? In the Ferrari, he chucks the car into turn 9, but does suffer a little bit of understeer through turn 10. He nails the curb, he nails the exits, he sees the finish line, and it's 4th to 2nd for Joe's My Bueno on the medium compound tyres. Surely that is enough to see him through into Q3. As the car gets lighter and despite the tyres getting more and more dead, this Ferrari is going quickly. He's 2.5 tenths behind Matsuvo, well, a quarter of a second behind Matsuvo. And again, we have a competitive field really bringing the action on this Friday night. Wherever you are watching this, thank you very much for your company. And we hope we are entertaining you. Well, the action is, obviously we're encountering a few problems at the moment. Apologies for that. Again, apologies, everyone. Still encountering a few difficulties. We are going to do our best to resolve this. Da, 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 da. Not what Sorry, as I am just trying to sort this out. Matsuvo leads the field in Q2. He, Joe's My Bueno, Shaman, Scoffy and UFR Ninja will all start on the medium compound tyres. The rest of the top 10 will start on the soft compound tyres. So the top two are looking in a very promising position. So then, this is where speed is, well, immortalised in its definition, demonstrated by the creme de la creme of PFL drivers. Tier 1 is what we are here to watch. Tier 1 is what we are here to admire. The Red Bull Ring requires bravery, skill, calculation. Let's see who can command all of that and so much more. The drivers head out on track for what should be an absolute whirlwind of the next 12 minutes. Strap yourself in for what should be a pulsating, blistering ride. Because I know I certainly am, as I obviously try and overcome these technical problems. So then, again, my sincere apologies for the problems we have encountered so far today. Obviously not great for the first tier 1 race for PFL, but we are all, of course, learning from here. Hopefully we can overcome these problems in future races. But then who's leading the pack? It's the Haas. It's the Haas of Scofi. He will be the first driver to get us going, so let's see what he can do. Haas have normally gone quite well around the Red Bull Ring. It's one of their strongest tracks. Point scorers in 2016, 2017, 2018. P5 with Kevin Magnussen in qualifying in 2019. But what can Scoffy do here in PFL? With yellow flags out in Sector 3 as the drivers slow down to bring the temperatures down and get their laps underway very soon. But Scoffy through the first sector will be quickest of anyone through the first sector. But that's because he's the first person to set a time. But he's instantly beaten there by, I believe, Joe's My Bueno. Atomic Drax and Joe's My Bueno. So then, raging towards turn 1, closing DRS, turning the front end in. Oh, he seemed to be a little bit wide there, but the minimum speed didn't really get that badly affected. Turn 5, now the mighty turn 6, where we saw Valtteri Bottas career off the track and into the barriers in 2019. But the Haas has escaped all that trouble so far on this lap, and he only has 2 more corners to go. If he can keep it within track limits, he would have registered a lap time as the Haas. Oh, he does run right through the final corner, but the stewards do not penalise it. It's a 1.4.6 for the Haas, but that is not beaten by Atomic Drax. So Atomic Drax suffering through the second and third sector. Joe's My Bueno has his lap deleted, so it is the Haas that heads the timesheets for the moment, but Nathan is quickest of anyone through the first sector. Matsuvo slots his AlphaTauri into seconds. So he's nearly 4 tenths down as Hydrant slots his Williams now into third. Dumbest basket then in the Red Bull. Only has 2 more corners to go of the Red Bull Ring. The track immortalised by his team's name. What can he do in the team's home race? He goes second. The Red Bull goes second ahead of Matsuvo, but still over 3.5 tenths behind Scofi, who has lit up the timing boards so far is Atomic Drax. Atomic Drax has encountered problems as Shaman has gone quickest of anyone on a 1.4.5, but the Alfa Romeo has dug his car into the gravel. Thankfully, he's able to escape. But he is slowest of the time so far, and wow, that is going to be a wake-up call. Joe's My Bueno has invalidated another lap, so that's going to do him no good whatsoever. But Gatekeeper now in the McLaren, who's had he's had to back out of his lap. have yellow flags out in sector 2, but I believe Scoffy, who is only 2/100ths behind provisional pole position, I believe he's letting some drivers through. But Gatekeeper now, does he have enough fuel left in the car, and does he have the tyre life to go for another lap? Loses the rear through turn 1 and almost finds the grass there. That's not a promising start to the McLaren's lap. But through the turn 2 kink and onto the turn 3 braking zone, he's improving the McLaren through the first sector, but he's 27 seconds down, for crying out loud. So he needs to really improve. We have 9 drivers remaining in this Q3 session. Who is going to take pole position? So far, it is Wise Shaman who has the bragging rights, but Scoffy is giving him a run for his money. The McLaren, always quickest of anyone through sector 2. We have a fight on our hands for pole position. The hills are alive in Austria with the sound of PFL racing, and we are roaring right from day one. The McLaren comes through the final corner. He sees the finish line. And it's only P3. It's a very good improvement. It is second row for the moment for the McLaren. But Wise Shaman and Scoffy are in a league of their own so far. I'm just trying to sort out the problems here with this commentary. Right, Matsubo is on an out lap. That is going to soon turn into a hot lap. So what can the AlphaTauri do? You think he has more to give in this qualifying session. What more can he give? We're about to find out through the exit of turn 1. Seems to be carrying so much speed in there. Great commitment from the AlphaTauri. But he opens DRS. He ventures towards turn 2 and now turn 3. Speeds at over 200 miles per hour soon become speeds at under 75 kilometers an hour. But Matsubo has started his lap promisingly. He's purple through the first sector. The sun is out. It's shining on the Red Bull Ring. But can it be shining on Matsubo? Well, it is at the moment. He's 4 tenths up on his best time through the first 2 sectors. He's quickest of anyone through the first 2 sectors. What is currently 5th may just turn into provisional pole for the AlphaTauri. He has one more corner to tackle. He tackles it. He gets out wide, but he keeps it within what the stewards expect of him. And he goes quickest with a whopping 1:4.109. He's 4 tenths quicker than the chasing game. He really has shown his hand, and he has given the rest of the top 10, and he's given them something to think about, because that is a pulsating lap time for the AlphaTauri. The first lap just was not good enough. The second lap is a red-hot scorcher. Atomic Drax is slowest of the times so far in Q3. So 1:5.6 at the moment for the Alfa. Yeah, 1:5.6 so far for the Alfa Romeo. What improvements can he bring on this latest lap? We have just over 3.5 minutes left of qualifying here at the Red Bull Ring. We have yellow flags through sector 2. Hopefully that's just drivers letting one another past. This is utterly spellbinding. Atomic Drax is improving by 2 tenths through the first 2 sectors of his latest lap. Dumbest Basket has left the session. He comes through the final corners of the Alfa Romeo and he's invalidated his lap time. So we are not going to see what the outcome was going to be of his lap. Joe's my bueno, right. This may be his one and only representative lap time. He's got to make it count in the Ferrari. So 16.1 through the first sector. He turns his Ferrari front end, into turn 3. if anyone else is progressing. Gatekeeper through the first sector is not improving. Hydrant is through the second sector. Scoff doesn't seem to be setting purple lap times through the first sector. But Hydrant is improving. Could he be challenging for a top 3? Maybe a front row start here at the Red Bull Ring. He chucks his Williams into the penultimate corner. He chucks it into the final corner. He keeps it within the track limits. He crosses the line. And it's only good enough for P4 still. So the improvement is an improvement in lap time, but not in position as Gatekeeper experiments the islands of grass around the Red Bull Ring. But Atomic Drax does not improve on his lap time. So he still sits 8th. So then it seems like Matsuvo has shown his hand in this qualifying session and cannot go any quicker. But you can see there, Scoff and Weishman are separated by 1,000th of a second. This is mighty, mighty close. But the moment it is the AlphaTauri who sits in the garage who heads the timesheets. Will he be feeling nervous? Well, of course he would be. It is his pole position possibly under threat. But he has just about a minute to go and one more flying lap from everyone else to go. And then he will realise what his qualifying heroics have brought. Hydrant in the Williams currently sits in 4th place through the first sector. It is not a personal best, but it is competitive nonetheless. We have yellow flags through sector 2. So then, doesn't seem like Scoff is going to be improving then. He will not have the time to improve. Weishman is on a final lap time, but runs wide through turn 1. That's going to do him no favours whatsoever. Hydrant doesn't seem to be bringing the lap times required to take pole position. So is it going to be Matsuvo's day in qualifying? Actually, Hydrant, though, is improving drastically through the middle sector. Maybe I spoke too soon. The Williams might pop up at the last minute to steal Matsuvo's pole position. The Williams opens DRS, chases the checkered flag, but it's not enough. It's not enough for the Williams to take pole position. But he is on the front row for the moment. Scoff is in the pits. He's 3rd quickest at the moment. Weishman is improving. He could be on for a front row start. He's the final driver to complete a qualifying lap in anger around the Red Bull Ring. Speed has been of the essence here at the Red Bull Ring. Does Weishman have enough to take pole position? No, he doesn't, by just over 0.2 of a second. It is Matsuvo who has been the quickest of the lot in qualifying, and he will start from the front in the opening race of PFL Season 1, Tier 1, and what a mighty effort it was from the AlphaTauri. A 1:4.109, and that is a lap of absolute mastery from the AlphaTauri. You can see the drivers very, very competitive in Q3, but the most competitive of the bunch was Matsuvo. Wow, what a session. What a session that was. I enjoyed it. I hope you did too. Right then, we are just moments away from the first race of PFL Season 1. We've seen the speeds. We are now about to test the racecraft of the drivers. The formation lap will soon be getting underway. And there we have it, the drivers leaping off of the grid and onto the formation lap. So then, Matsuvo is your pole sitter for the first race of Tier 1 PF1 Race 1. Again, my sincere apologies to Connor. I was really hoping for a great co-commentator tonight, and he is a cracking lad, and hopefully we will have him back for the next race. But for the rest of tonight, ladies and gentlemen, you have me, so make of that what you will. For one, I apologise, but, well, let's get this going then. Homan has been disqualified from the formation lap, but I believe that was not his fault, so a bit of a pain there from the Mercedes, who can't get his tyres up to temperature. But Matsuvo heads the field then, as they will soon be on the grid. So then the drivers are lining up on the grid. I don't know what to expect. Surely all of you watching this do not know what to expect. But one thing is for sure, this is going to be a roller coaster, helter-skelter of a ride for all that will be PF1 Season 1 Tier 1. The Red Bull Ring, home to the season opener for what should be the start of something special. The next 36 laps are going to be a riveting ride, but who can overcome the challenge that this challenge is about to present? We have 5 red lights on at the Red Bull Ring, and PF1 Season 1 Tier 1 is underway. It's a great start there from Matsuvo. It seems like Weishman is under pressure from Hydrant, but as they venture into Turn 1, it's the Alpha Tauri that leads the race. Seems like we might have a bit of contact through Turn 1. Grace Warrior has seemingly lost out. UFR Ninja has certainly lost out. He's at the rear of the grid. Hydrant has dropped down into 15th place, but it is Matsuvo that leads the race. We have yellow flags out in Sector 1, of course, of the contact that we have. We can see the Haas there. Kawashinkos going very wide there, but keeping ahead of Grace Warrior. And we have Homan, who's lost his front wing. Hydrant, I can't see if he's got any damage. Most possibly on the front wing. Yes, his right front wing end plate is damaged. UFR Ninja surely has damage after what was the contact that we've seen was made through the first few corners. But you can see there, Arborwood's so opportunistic on the inside there of Josma Bueno, and he seizes that 5th place. Aggressive racecraft there from the McLaren that took a chance on the Ferraris. His little mistake there. But unfortunately for Homan, he has retired from the session. Yellow flags out in Sector 2. You can see Nathan going wide through the final corner. Gatekeeper has his chance to seize 3rd place. He looks to the inside of Turn 1 but thinks better of it. That's going to give his teammates a mighty opportunity to take back the place. But we have a virtual safety car. We have problems there for Atomic Drat and the Haas of Kawash. I cannot say the name, my apologies. That's a problem there. We have lost 2 more drivers. Well, we've lost 3 drivers in total. We've lost 2 more drivers than what we thought we would. But, well, safety car now has been called out. So, the drivers are going to be stacked right back together. And for the drivers that had to pit for new front wings, this is going to give them a second chance in this race to come back. But that is a real shame, losing 3 drivers on the first lap. That's not what we wanted. But you can see here with UFR Ninja, he's taken the safety car opportunity to not only pit, but to completely transfigure his strategy. He's going on the hard compound tyres. He's going to go longer in the race. I'd be very surprised if he manages to get to the checkered flag on a 1-stop, but we will have to see the tyre management behind UFRL Ninja. Ex-Nathan then comes into the pits in his Alfa Romeo. He was very lucky there to preserve his third place after running wide through the final corner on the first lap. But what tyres is it going to be? I reckon, it's going to be the mediums then. So it's a very, very early pit stop for Ex-Nathan, who's going to drop quite far down the order. Scoth may get ahead of him, or maybe not. Hydrant now has a time penalty for speeding under the safety car. Scoth, though, does get ahead there of Ex-Nathan. That was mighty close. But the Haas has one on the Alfa Romeo for the moment and gets track position on him. This is our order so far. Matt Zuvo leads after converting pole position into the lead into turn 1. Weischermann currently in second ahead of Gatekeeper. Arborwood, McLaren running third and fourth here at the Red Bull Ring. Then comes Grace Warrior. Then comes Theo. Then comes Dunbish Basket. Yearlong Hatters running 8th after starting from the very back. We have Scoffy, Ex-Nathan, Joe's My Bueno, Hydrant and UFRL Ninja that bring up the rear. So then already our first safety car of the season out on track. The driver's then weaving from left to right, trying to get temperature into the tyres. Obviously the safety car going at slower speed, a lot slower speed. It does hurt the tyre temperature, and when it comes to the safety car restart, you can lose a handful of places if you don't get the safety car restart right, but most importantly, if you don't have the tyre temperature in the right window. Tyre temperature equates to, well, grip, and you need an abundance of grip if you want to be running in the higher places, especially in this league, because the fellow drivers are not going to be kind to those who have not got it right. If you are with us on this Friday evening, thank you very much for your company. It is PF1, Tier 1, Season 1, Race 1. All the ones here today, and running number 1 at the moment is Matt Zuvo. He started on pole. He's led from corner 1 all the way to the end of lap 4. And he is going to get the race back underway as the safety car peels off into the pits at the end of this lap. Again, weaving from left to right, the AlphaTauri. The Austrian Grand Prix, home to many straights, so the AlphaTauri may be vulnerable if he doesn't exercise his authority by becoming the de facto safety car well. How well is he going to time it? Still weaving from left to right. When's he going to put the throttle down? Right now. The AlphaTauri races away, and we have our race back underway. He's aced that safety car restart. He's already 0.8 of a second clear of the chasing pack. You can see we have a problem there through the final corner. Theo ghosting there. And we have UFRL Ninja at the rear of the pack. So still a few more problems for the drivers at this safety car restart. But we are back underway here at the Red Bull Ring. Ex-Nathan now has a time penalty for track limits. But as we venture on into turn 3, the two McLarens racing one another, with the Ferrari of Grace Warrior lurking in the distance. DRS, of course, not enabled at the moment. Will not be enabled until lap 7. But let's see what pure racing does for this league. No DRS overtakes. Let's see how much the dirty air affects these cars and how difficult it is to pass. But out in front, Matt Zuvo is just demonstrably quick around the Red Bull Ring as Ex-Nathan now gets past Yearlong Hat around the outside of turn 6. And the Alfa Romeo chanced to move and pulled it off well. Into 7th place is now the Alfa Romeo. But the Red Bull actually wants to fight back, but he's got the Haas lurking in the distance as we have problems there for... I'm not too sure who that is. It's Theo who's retired from the second, and we now have a virtual safety car. So Theo has found the gravel track at the very least through the exit of turn 7 and on towards turn 8, and that spells the end of his race a mere 5 laps into the opening race of the season. So it is a virtual safety car. So again, a lot of emphasis on the restart here, and even more so timing. You can time this start to an absolute T. You may pick yourself up a position or two. You may even lose a position or two. But the drivers are going to be, well, they're going to have to be precise. But we are now down, unfortunately, to 12 drivers, just 6 laps in to this race. We've lost Homan, the Haas of Kawasaki. I cannot say your name. I really do apologise. Atomic Drax and Theo. But this race will be getting underway very, very soon. I'm sure the green flag will be coming very, very soon. And it does. Drive-through penalty for Scoff, who is sped under the virtual safety car. Seems like we might be having DRS underway. We have a plethora of penalties for the drivers, but you can see there Arbor getting very wide through the final corner. DRS is now enabled, but these two are going to go side by side without it. Who's going to edge ahead into turn 1? The Ferrari doesn't have it under braking, and Arbor around the outside, opportunistic, but manages to keep the position. But what can the Ferrari do in response? They hurry towards turn 2 and into turn 3. The Ferrari looks at the outside, goes off the track there. And Arbor maintains that 4th place. But Weishman drawing side by side with Matsuvo and getting ahead. We have a change of lead at the Red Bull Ring. But Matsuvo, in response, trying to get back side by side with the Aston Martin. But Weishman's obviously, well, spotted a mistake there from the AlphaTauri, because what was a dominant lead for the AlphaTauri has now turned into a deficit. The Aston Martin leads this race. Let's glare upon this battle for the lead. The 2 quickest drivers so far today going hammer and tong. UFR Ninja spinning through turn 1. He's very much out of competitive action in this race. But the top 2 separated then by just less than 0.2 of a second. As they go into turn 1, the AlphaTauri does want DRS. And he does get a very healthy exit indeed. He is chasing down the Aston Martin. That rear wing gets larger and larger, and it's now behind him as the AlphaTauri advances into the lead, into turn 3. What turned into second place a lap ago has turned back into the lead for the AlphaTauri. But the Aston Martin is not going to let go. They're going to rage on towards turn 4. How late can the Aston Martin be on the brakes? Late, but not late enough. This is a riveting battle for the race win, intensifying only on lap 8, but it's going to be a battle that hopefully lasts right until the checkered flag. Nathan is hurrying down this basket through the second sector. Let's see what he can do. Seemingly having a lot of front end grip there. Having said that, he has explored track limits and has received a penalty already. Matsuvo out in front sets the fastest lap of the race, and you can see Dummett's basket almost lighting up the rear tyres right ahead of us. And you can see the Alfa Romeo almost impacting the rear of the Red Bull. He gets ahead into turn 1, but he runs wide. This is going to present the Red Bull an opportunity to get back ahead. Runs well, trying to escape a collision there between the two, but the Red Bull advances back ahead and up into 6th place. Weishman is chasing down the AlphaTauri of Matsuvo into turn 4, but it is still status quo, as you were from last lap. These two absolutely imperious out in front and are giving us a thrilling battle for the lead. They're soon going to be lapping UFR Ninja, who's had a troublesome race so far. Meanwhile, let's turn our attention to the battle for 5th gatekeeper. And Dumbest Baskets and Nathan separated by less than a second. So this is a battle that may be worth keeping some mind to at least. Of course, we have a battle out in front for the lead. And let's turn our attention to that, because Weishman has got a very good exit off of turn 1. He opens DRS. That AlphaTauri is getting closer and closer. The Aston Martin is going to look down the inside, and it is easy as that for the Aston Martin, who takes the lead, and there's a bit of contact between the pair. Matsuvo hitting Weishman and advances back ahead. Nathan, meanwhile, advancing up into 5th place ahead of Gatekeeper, who runs wide. Dumbest Basket is demoted, I believe, down into P7, but he's chasing down the McLaren. Oh no, he was P7. He's looking for P6. He goes down the inside. There is contact between the pair of them. The Red Bull manages to get ahead and advances then up into 6th place. So racing across the field so far. Is that a problem there for UFRL Ninja? It is, who has hit the wall. The Armco barrier has claimed a victim, and UFRL Ninja's race just gets that little bit worse. He's now a lap behind the leading pack. And the Mercedes has had the race from hell around the Red Bull ring, and the safety car has been deployed. So the second safety car of this race already been brought out. It's only lap 9 for heaven's sake. Lap 11, sorry. Oh, sorry. Yeah, UFL Ninja on lap 9. We are on lap 11. My apologies there. But wow, drama, crashes, action of a plenty so far. So the fields will close back once more. Now, this is the time where you may see drivers chance a pit stop. Because of course, UFL Ninja has retired from the session, so his horrid Red Bull race has come to an end for UFL Ninja. It does mean we're now down to 11 drivers after, well, less than a third of a race. But nonetheless, it has been a very exciting race so far, and the excitement hopefully will still remain up until the checkered flag. Who then is going to come into the pits? It's not going to be the Alpha Tauri. It is... Oh no, it is going to be Matsubo. It looks like he's not going to pit, but at the very last moment he does pit, but he's hit the wall. Matsubo may just have to change his front wing, and he's going to relinquish the lead of the race. Because I'm sure, yes, it was debris flying from his car. He's going to change his front wing. This is going to be a change of lead. Nathan's now promoted into the lead. But Weishman comes out of the pits. He's going to get ahead of Matsubo. The McLaren almost gets ahead of Matsubo. So a minor, but needless mistake from our pole sitter and race leader for most of this Grand Prix so far has just encountered a major problem. He pits then onto the medium compound tyres. So too does Weishman. Nathan's out in front on older medium compound tyres. Let's have a look at... Well, obviously everyone's made a stop, so actually, Nathan, although they're 8 laps older, his tyres, always hit the wall, surely! Nathan spins out of the lead and trying to generate temperature into his tyres. It is an unbelievable error from the Alfa Romeo. He then tries to repass the McLaren, and he does. Something just as basic as trying to get temperature. He's now trying to overtake Race Warrior. You cannot do that. He's lost his places. He's lost places under the safety car. Not because anyone illegally overtook him. And he's now no longer going to be able to get back up into, well, where he was, the lead. Utter drama. The lead has changed twice under the safety car through catastrophic errors from Matsubo and then from Nathan. Wow. Shows you how even under the safety car the drivers are tested, their skills are tested, their concentration is tested, and I don't know what got to Nathan there, but it is an agonising error which does have some very severe consequences. He's frankly lucky to still be in this race. I thought that may spell the end of his Austrian Grand Prix venture, but thankfully it has not. So then the safety car is coming in once again at the end of this lap. Green flag action will soon be underway. Matsubo will want his race lead back. He's going to be chasing down the Aston Martin of Weishman. Race Warrior on the soft compound tyres. He may be a factor in the next few laps. This is going to be a very, very interesting battle. He's on the softer bit, well, tyres that are not going to be lasting as long. So this is going to be a very, very interesting battle for the lead. Grace Warrior, who started 15th, running in the podium places, and it has been a valiant effort so far from the Ferrari. But Weischermann, when will he get us going? The AlphaTauri almost hitting the rear of him. But the Aston Martin gets us underway once more. Seems like drivers once more having trouble through the final corner, but Weischermann does lead the field then. So they go on into turn one. The Aston Martin hitting a load of curb there. This may be the AlphaTauri's opportunity to seize the lead of the race back. He's in the slipstream of the Aston Martin. He pulls out to the inside. They're going to race towards turn two and into turn three. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It is going to be Matt Zuvo. The richness of his racecraft was there for everyone to see, but he gets too happy, too trigger happy on the throttle after mounting the curb. That presents an opportunity to Weischermann, who seizes the lead back. Now Matt Zuvo around the outside. He's going to dance and dazzle around the outside. Absolutely spectacular from the AlphaTauri. Is he going to have the lead by the end of the corner? He is. Absolutely superb from Matt Zuvo. It was stunning. It was serene. It was scintillating from the AlphaTauri. He's had his misfortunes. He's had his shortcomings in this race, but that was absolutely majestic. The richness of his racecraft has just pierced that of Weischermann, who thought he had it under control. But Matt Zuvo around the outside of turn four, it was a dash of daring delight. But this battle is far from over. Meanwhile, ex-Nathan's up into the podium places. He's passed Grace Warrior. I was so focused on the battle for the lead that now Arborwood is hunting down Grace Warrior into turn three. How late is he going to be on the brakes? Late enough to have fourth place in his hands. He aces the exit, and now he can set his sights upon the podium places. We're back to the battle for the lead. Weischermann wants it. Matt Zuvo wants it. But only one can come out on top today. It's been a brilliant battle between the pair. It's absolutely captivated the spectacle. Hopefully it's captivated all of you that are watching the race at the moment. Nathan has now received a time penalty for track limits. I believe that's his second of the race. We will have to see. But DRS, I believe, yes, has now been enabled. This is going to give a very promising opportunity for Weischermann to get back up into the lead. Nathan again receives a time penalty for track limits. So these are just adding up for the Alfa Romeo. Weischermann has so much speed down the straight into turn three. He seizes the race lead back, but around the outside, Matt Zuvo with the minimum speed has that lead back. The Aston Martin, though, does have DRS. He's going to opt for the inside line, but can he hold on to the lead? Onto the braking zone he does, but the AlphaTauri is going to come back. Ex-Nathan now wants to put his name in the hat for the race lead, and the top three separated by barely anything. What a race, what an opening race we are enjoying here at the Red Bull Ring, a track that has thrown up so much excitement and drama over the years. It's not proving any difference for PFL right now. Seems like the drivers are slightly struggling with the tyre temperatures. The tyres crying out loud for grip, and just to keep it on the island seems a problem for the drivers. Jose Bueno sets the fastest lap so far of the race in the Ferrari, but our eyes are cast upon Matt Zuvo, who on the exit of turn one breezes past Weischermann. The lead is changing this way, that way, lap after lap after lap, and it might change again in a few moments' time. Because into turn four once more, the Aston Martin is closing in on Matt Zuvo. He's not close enough. Dumbest Basket and Grace Warrior going side by side. The Ferrari holds the position at the moment and has the Red Bull at arm's length. We're now creeping towards half distance of this race so far. It has been a thrilling race. If this is what PF1 is to be from here on in, boy, sign me up. Well, you have already. But you get what I mean. It has been a captivating race so far, and let's hope it does not change. Matsuvo, quickest of anyone so far. He sets the fastest lap of the race, but it's not enough to escape from the mercy of Weischermann. Again, he hunts down the AlphaTauri into turn 3, does the Aston Martin. He gets late on the brakes, but he wants a good exit. Does he get a good exit? I think he does. They have been inseparable this race, these two. They're still inseparable now. The Aston Martin looks to dive to the inside, but thought about it again, and he slots in behind the AlphaTauri. Dumbest Basket still doesn't have the measure of Grace Warrior. Now we have side-by-side action between Scoff and Joe's My Bueno. Side-by-side then into turn 6. The Ferrari's going to try and hang it around the outside. Perhaps it looked like he was going to go a bit deep there. But he had the speed, he had the calculation through the corner. And the place is his. So then, halfway through this race, what a treat, what a Friday night treat this has been. We do not know the outcome of this race, and I frankly do not want to know it until the final lap of the race. And judging by how the first 18 laps have gone, we're probably not going to know the order by the final lap. Weischermann again coming back at Matsuvo. He thought about a move into turn 3. He wants the DRS as they advance towards turn 4, but losing the rear slightly through the corner there. The Aston Martin, it seems like Scoffy gets ahead of Joe's My Bueno. Dumbest Basket so late on the brakes there, trying to get past Grace Warrior. Wow, that was opportunistic, but the rewards of that was none, unfortunately, for the Red Bull, who was so incredibly late on the brakes. Frankly, that's a miracle he's made it into the corner still. But he is, and he's still in the battle for 5th place. We can really see how powerful DRS is here. You can see how quickly Weischermann is closing in on Matsuvo, and we're going to see it again. We will see the same again from Nathan, and we may see the same as well from Dumbest Basket. The Red Bull is going to look to the inside, he then dives to the outside. Again, he's so late on the brakes, but he goes around the outside, and that is a sweet, sensational move from the Red Bull. Again, another dash of daring delight here around the Red Bull ring as Weischermann gets past Matsuvo, but the AlphaTauri does fight back. Through turn 4, Matsuvo just has the Aston Martin at arm's length. And I said before the race, this is going to be a roller coaster, helter-skelter of a race. It has been everything and more than that so far in these 20 laps. Absolutely sensational. Nathan now is going to come into the pits, it seems. Yes, he does. That will hand 3rd place then to... Oh, Nathan has hit the wall. Another problem in the pit lane has struck one of the drivers, and Nathan, who spun out of the lead under the safety car, has now spun in the pit lane. Weischermann now does have so much speed with DRS and the slipstream down the straight. Matsuvo just simply has no resistance to it. But he gets a very nice exit there off of turn 3. The battle reignites again. This time it seems like the Aston Martin is going to keep the lead. It's a race of calculation, it's a race of attrition amongst the front runners here at the Red Bull ring. Who will blink first? In the knowledge that we may have no safety cars until the end, one tiny error is going to be, well, massively punished. The consequences will be so grave, and you can see Dumbest Basket paying consequences for a hairy turn 7. But he manages to get away with it as Matsuvo has now received a time penalty for track limits. That has dealt him a major blow in this race. We're now on lap 22 of this Austrian Grand Prix. So Weischermann has the initiative, he has track position, he has no penalties. But will he have the win? Race Warrior back in the fight with Dumbest Basket. He goes to the inside. He has, well, I was going to say he has the place. He doesn't. Dumbest Basket on exit does still hold fourth. With yellow flags out in Sector 3, I believe X-Nathan's encountered yet more problems. That isn't it, that maybe he's gone for a spin, which is just going to compound what has been a horror last few laps for the Alfa Romeo. We've had 2 safety cars in this race. He will be hoping for a third. And I think he may be retiring from this race. He's gone for a spin yet again. I think his tyres are a bit too hot at the moment. He has rejoined this race, which is good to see, really. We don't want to see any more drivers that exit the race. We've had probably too many drivers already face their conclusion. But Matsuvo then wants his lead back. He goes down the inside of turn 3. Is it copy and paste from the last few laps? I think it may be. He pushes Weischermann out onto the edge of the track, onto the curb. And the lead is his once more. Dumbest Basket and Grace Warrior just are glued to one another. The Red Bull had the place down the straight. He doesn't have it into turn 4, though he's going to hang it around the outside, but the Ferrari shows him the door. I think X-Nathan's encountered yet more problems. Yes, he has. He's on the gravel. Oh, don't! Oh, and he rejoins, and Weischermann there had to avoid him. Oh, that is not what you want to see there. X-Nathan then running wide. Yeah, that's really what you don't want to see. That may have just dealt Weischermann's race win a major, major blow. He was in the net lead of the race with Matsuvo having a penalty, but a massive misjudgment from X-Nathan is going to leave Weischermann incensed. Dumbest Basket once again gets past Grace Warrior down the straight. Arborwood has now got past Weischermann. He's asserted his authority on the brakes and he's asserted his name in second place. But how long is that going to last? The Aston Martin is coming back. Oh, it's all fallen apart for the Aston Martin. You've got to feel sorry for him. He's been robbed of a place amongst the battle for the race win through no fault of his own. And all one can do is sympathise with him. But it has spread the field out quite a bit, and it's definitely given Matsuvo the commanding lead that he yearns for. But of course, it has been a race of attrition so far, and it will remain a race of attrition until the checkered flag. Weischermann comes into the pits. He's going to trigger the undercut on Arborwood, and in the knowledge that I believe the undercut is quite powerful around the Red Bull ring, this could trigger a flurry of activity. The Aston Martin boxes for the soft compound tyres, and it's a slow stop as they change his front wing. Oh, it's got away from the Aston Martin. It's not going to trigger an undercut. He's lost so much time as he's had to pit for, obviously, a new front wing. X-Nathan's going to have to pit for a new front wing as he's met the wall. And he has now retired from the session. Still have yellow flags out in the second sector, but these two have passed it. What can Scott do then in the Haas going into turn 5? Not enough to make an impression on the Ferrari of Grace Warrior. Flags out in sector 3. I'm wondering why that is. Oh, Dumbest Basket has now lost his front wing. The race of attrition just gets that little bit more tense. Oh my. Drama here, there, and absolutely everywhere around the Red Bull ring. You turn away from the action and you miss so much from this race. Matsuvo's dominant out in front, but judging by how this race has gone, is he really that dominant? Scoff now is taking the fight to Grace Warrior as they advance towards turn 4. Who's going to be later on the brakes? It looks like it's going to be Scoff, who hangs it around the outside. He makes contact with the Ferrari, but he's surely going to have 4th place going into turn 6. No, the Ferrari around the outside. Oh, that is masterful. That's majestic. That is magnificent from Grace Warrior. He is giving Scoff no initiative whatsoever. It is absolutely glorious. Matsuvo now comes into the pits and pits onto the soft compound tyres. Arbwood changes his front wing, and I believe so as a time penalty. Dumbest Basket's going to change his front wing as well. So Grace Warrior is now up into 2nd place. But for how much longer? Because Scoff may have a good enough exit off of the first corner, but Weischermann's got a cracking exit as well. Are they going to go 3 wide into turn 3? No. Weischermann thought better of it, but Scoff and Grace Warrior still going side by side. The Ferrari shoving the Haas off the track, trying to assert his authority on the track. The Aston Martin getting onto the green grass, but he wants that 2nd place back. Does the Aston Martin? He gets onto the grass, hits the polystyrene boards, and he had to back out of it there. Thankfully, he still remains in this race. That could have been a very, very worrying accident. But he's still just under a second off of P2. Wow. Drama from day one. Just glare at what has been a great Grand Prix around Austria. PFL is sure going to be on for a mighty season of mastery, of magnificence. And make sure you do not miss a thing. Weischermann, he wants his place back on the rostrum, and he wants to take the 3rd place off of Grace Warrior. But Grace Warrior, is he going to make a move into turn 3? No, but he's going to have to look behind him. Weischermann wants that 3rd place, but he's not going to get it at the moment. Scoff weaving this way and that way in his defence of the Ferrari. The prancing horse, the Ferrari, which, well, has had a fantastic comeback drive so far. He sits in the podium positions after starting 15th. Just proves to you, it's attestation of how dramatic this race has been, how much a race can turn, not only just after a litter of accidents and drama, but even just through one small error. We have seen errors, we've seen drivers being punished for mistakes, we've seen Matsuvo punished for a mistake as he hit the wall on pit entry and had to relinquish the lead to Weischermann. But he took the lead of the race back, and it just all fell into his place through his supreme speed and just that little bit of luck with Weischermann having to pit for a new front wing after ex-Nathan went for some ventures off the track. Weischermann looks for a move to the inside of turn 3. It comes to no avail. Dumbest Basket is following his teammate, but his teammate is not connected. So then Grace Warrior looks... Oh, Joey's My Bueno's retired from the race. Through the exit of turn 1. And we have a safety car. We have a 3rd safety car here at the Red Bull Ring. And we could be in for a thrilling, utterly thrilling last few laps. What are the drivers going to do? If you're Matsuvo, surely you come into the pits, serve your penalty and put on some new tyres. Because under safety car, everyone goes that much slower. Okay, he doesn't pit. Is anyone going to chance a pit stop? I do not think so. But we're down to 9 drivers in this race. And with just 7 laps to go, this race has yet another twist. We will be under the safety car for the next couple of laps. So do not miss a thing. And now Weischermann has a time penalty as well. Oh my word. He could have had the net race lead as he closes back up to Matsuvo. He's not going to have it. He is going to have to pass the AlphaTauri for race victory. Oh, what a battle. What a battle we have in store. Weischermann has been unbelievably unlucky in the past 10 laps. But could that lady luck suddenly swing towards him and lay before him too? Unbelievably, despite all the drama in this race, the top 3 drivers still remain in the places they started from. Something is going on in this race, something that can only be described through racing. Racing is the language in which we enjoy sport and that we understand speed and drama. And boy, have we understood the language today. No barriers to what we enjoy in racing, just utter thrilling action from lap 1 to what will turn into lap 31 just meters from now. So if you have just joined us for PFL Tier 1 Season 1 Race 1 around the Red Bull Ring, my word, you have missed a lot. A story is made of so many chapters, twists and turns everywhere you go. This has been a novel of absolute excellence. The book has not yet been finally written. There are still lines, there are still events to be constructed through the idea of racing. But what will those words come to? What will those lines come to? What will the outcome come to? We will have 5 laps to determine the book's fate, and what may be the fate of Matsuvo, who started from pole, has been unbelievably quick from Q1 onwards and leads this race. We'll have a maximum of 4 laps to the checkered flag, it seems. So, well, get into your chairs. Whatever you're doing, just pause for a moment and cast your eyes upon this. Glare at this greatness that PF1 is perfect. PFL. That's great when I get the name of the league wrong. PFL. Flipping heck. Well, at least I make that mistake in race 1. Let's hope as the league grows, my ability to know what names of leagues are called also grows, and, well, it better. I'd like to just quickly say thank you to everyone on the Discord of PFI Racing. PFI, there we go, that has complimented my commentary. Thank you very much for your support, guys. It does mean an awful lot. But most importantly, I hope you are enjoying tonight's action. It has been a thrill for me. I hope it's been a thrill for you, and it's going to be a thrill to the end. 4 laps to determine the winner. 4 laps to see who will take the opening honours of the PFI Tier 1 Season 1 Race 1 Grand Prix. For the second time in this race, Matsuvo will get us underway for a safety car restart. Weischermann aced a safety car restart earlier. Matsuvo, has he aced it? Yes, he has. He has a lengthy gap already to Weischermann, and he gets us going. 4 laps to the end, 4 laps to the checkered flag is now underway. It's nearly a second Matsuvo has over Weischermann. That is a critical moment in this race. Arborwood and Scoff are eyeing a podium finish. Are they going to get it though? We will have to see. No DRS for these first 2 laps in green flag action. Race Warrior now wants his name ahead of that of Dumbest Basket. He's not going to have it through turn 3. It doesn't look like he's going to have it through turn 4 either. Now the McLaren eyeing that podium finish. Arborwood, that started in 12th place, wants 3rd and his name on the rostrum. Matsuvo is just peerless out in front at the moment. He has made this Red Bull Ring stage his own. He has orchestrated 36 laps of true magnificence. Yes, hindered by errors a little bit, but he has done very, very well to keep his composure. Arborwood, we are right on board with him. He runs in P4. His teammate has just retired from the race. Gatekeeper, with 4 laps to the end, has just sealed his face in this race, and it seems like it may have been in the wall. Arborwood has his chance now to put his name on that rostrum. He progresses past the Williams, but as they wander to the end of the straight and into turn 3, it seems like the McLaren has the edge. Scoff now gives the Hydrant a little tap there, but the Williams managing to just keep 4th place for the moment. And it will be 4th place come turn 4. Let's not lose sight of what is probably the biggest battle on the track at the moment, which is the battle for P3. Scoff, though, with little over 2 laps to go, also wants to perhaps go for a podium finish. It may be plausible. In fact, it is plausible if he can get past Hydrant in a hurry. DRS has now been enabled. Scoff will want to utilise it to absolute effect. He's going to look to the outside of turn 1. He doesn't want DRS. He wants that speed advantage down the straight. He does go wide. He does have DRS, but did he overtake off the track and in fact illegally? We will have to see. The Williams, does he try and take that 4th place back? Yes, he is. So incredibly late on the brakes and contact between the pair. The Haas has to take evasive action. But at the very last moment, he pulled out there and Hydrant has crashed out of the race. He has met the barrier and he has mangled his Williams into the wall and just laps away from the checkered flag. He, Scoff and Dumbest Basket have retired from the race. We're down to 5 drivers. A race of attrition is exemplified through this finishing order, and 3 drivers in the space of a few hundred metres have crashed out in dramatic fashion. It hands Arborwood 3rd place, it hands Grace Warrior 4th place, it hands Yearlong Hat 5th place. We have, well, now the final lap underway. Wow, what a race. PFL has got underway in spectacular circumstances. It has been an absolute joy for me to commentate. It's been a joy for the drivers, hopefully the drivers, to have participated in. All contact there between Arborwood and Weischermann. Weischermann forced off of the track there. And now Grace Warriors thundered into the wall and out of this race too. We're down to 4 drivers. 4 drivers. This is Monaco 1996 levels of absolute madness. It's madness that sees Weischermann not able to get past Arborwood on the final lap. It's madness that has seen Matt Zuvo keep the lead under the safety car restart, and it is going to be Matt Zuvo that is going to take the win. Matt Zuvo has been incredibly quick from qualifying 1 through to the race. He weaves this way, he weaves that way, and he has the bragging rights in Austria. Matt Zuvo is your race winner around the Red Bull Ring. He reigns supreme on this stage. And the AlphaTauri, quickest of the lots on this Friday evening, has the race victory. What a drive it was from him. Of all the attrition, of all the drama, for the most part, he kept his cool, and that winner's trophy firmly lays in his hands. He's even taken the steering wheel on with him onto the podium. Such is his ecstasy and his elation. But it has been the start to the season that he has wanted. The AlphaTauri is your race winner around the Red Bull Ring, and that brings to a close what has been a dramatic race. Wow. Did that really just happen? Yes, PFL has got underway, and it's got underway with a bang. 4 drivers, only 4 drivers were able to see the checkered flag, and the chapter, the book, the novel has been written. It's a compelling book, and it's going to be part of a series across the next few Fridays. Well, the first book was so good, you may as well tune in for the rest of the series. PFL has got away with a roaring start. If you enjoyed that, make sure that you come back for more action, more drama, more racing, in fact more controversy next Friday. hopefully a little bit better technological ability from me. Wow, what a race. Matt Zuvo is your race winner ahead of Weishman. I need to go through this order. We need to see the whole race. So Matt Zuvo ahead of Weishman. Arborwood rounds out the podium. Then we have Yearlong Hat in fourth. Then we have your retirements. Grace Warrior, Dumbest Basket, Scofie, Hydrants, Gatekeeper, Joe's My Bueno, Ex-Nathan, I can't get through it. You didn't even need that list to tell you, though, that that was a dramatic race. Oof. The hills were certainly alive around the Red Bull Ring, and they all point towards Matt Zuvo, who, well, in the end was just imperious. Fair play to Weishman as well, who came home in second place. A real shame for him after the contact with Ex-Nathan. Or I believe it was contact, but he had to obviously take evasive action, and that really did, for the moment, wreck his chances of battling for the win. But congratulations everyone on a fantastic race. Congratulations on PFL on what has been a thrilling race. And if you enjoyed it, why not come back for more? We will be back next Friday when PFL Tier 1 Season 1 returns. Do not miss a thing.